Oh, I didn't even realize I was muted this whole time. But I'm not muted anymore. We have some people hopping on. Super excited about that. Hey, Crystal.
Hi, can you hear me or do I need to mute?
Yeah, no, I hear you. We're gonna see if anybody else joins. I know we have a few more people that we're planning to come.
Okay.
I love when people are bright and early and on time and things. So we gonna give it a few more moments. People tend to start trickling in around like a minute or two. So
Okay.
try to give it a little bit more time
Oh, cool
while I
beans.
drink my handy dandy.
How was your anniversary?
It was wonderful. Thanks for asking. What did we do? We took the day off, of course. We did. That's like our little, what do you call
Street.
it? Our little, yeah, that's like our little tradition that we taking the day off. It's our anniversary. He takes off from work. I take off from this, and we went to work out, and then we went to brunch, and then after brunch, um, we came home and we relaxed. I mean, we needed it. We be working so hard, so it was good to just kick back and relax. I think I took about two naps.
Hey, I'm not mad at you with that one. That sounds incredible. Yeah.
Yes.
Naps make you a better person. I always tell people like naps make you a better person. And
Yes.
so,
Yes.
yes.
Hello to everyone that's joining in. I'm so glad that you guys are here. Ooh,
Thank you.
this is going to be wonderful. We got somebody turning their sound on, but I'm gonna go ahead and hop into it. Thank you guys for being here. Welcome to our Teaching Tuesday webinar. In session on staying healthy when everybody needs you. Gonna ask that everybody keeps themselves muted unless we are doing like the engagement piece, just so it keeps distractions down. Um, so I'll go ahead and make sure that everyone is muted. But I'm super glad that you're here because today's conversation is definitely an important one. Um, this topic is especially for those who are parents, caregivers, professionals balancing multiple roles, or simply the person that everyone depends on. And I know a lot of us can relate to that last one, the person that everyone depends on. And you have to, we all know that you give your time, you give your energy, you give your attention, and oftentimes you come last. But here's the truth: you cannot pour from an empty cup. So today we're going to talk about why burnout happens, how constantly prioritizing others impacts your health, and how to take care of yourself without guilt. And also, how to build sustainable habits that fit into your real life, right? So, this journey isn't about doing more because we're already doing a lot, right? So, what it's about is supporting yourself while supporting others. Okay? And for those who are new here, I just want to let you all know that I am a certified weight loss specialist, health and fitness and nutrition coach. I'm also a military veteran and I served 10 years in the Air Force, and I'm a nationally qualified bodybuilding competitor. But most importantly, aside of all the accolades, my job here is to guide you in building a lifestyle that works for your life and not against it. Does that make sense? So I love, love, love to start this off with an icebreaker. So you can either drop in the chat or raise your hand, but I want to ask this. What tends to take priority over your health the most often? Think of things like kids, work, family responsibilities, stress, What is it? This is a safe space so you can be honest. What are some things that take priority over your health the most often? Sure. Go right ahead, Miss Susan. Oh, wait. I think I clicked to unmute. Do you see it? There you
My
go.
mom.
Your mom? How so?
I'm her caregiver.
Yeah, and it takes a lot out of you, right? Yeah, I can definitely understand that. And I know that it can be taxing. Do you feel that it's hard to make time for yourself with that?
Oh yes, yes, because I have to take care of her. I can't. I mean, her appointments. She's legally blind. She can't.
Yeah.
But yeah, it takes away from me, and then I try to do most of my appointments at the VA, but it's hard because I don't have anybody to watch her because I don't get
Mm-hmm.
any assistance
Assistance?
from the government.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
that's
it's difficult. It's difficult.
I can definitely understand that. And I see that Danique said days and events. Do you mind elaborating on that?
No, no, not at all. So I feel like just every day, whatever the yeah, I'm gonna say both times, but okay, thanks. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Today's events just meaning like however my day starts, like with my job, we start with like an 8:30 meeting, then there's a 9 o'clock meeting, and then there's a meeting thrown in between. So I kind of never get things done. Before I know it, I realized I didn't eat breakfast, I didn't eat lunch, and then the day is pretty much done and I have to kind of pick up my son. So I just feel like I get steamrolled by whatever the events are for the day. And I'm just kind of going along and not in control of much, if that makes sense.
It definitely makes sense. And it's more common than oftentimes we realize. And that's why a lot of times I coach the importance of like preparation. And I know sometimes it sounds like preparation, what is that? But a lot of times when we take that time to, if we know our is crazy and things of that nature, and we take that time to, prep and make sure that we have food with us, that we make that time for ourselves, that can make a huge factor because now you're taking the thought process out of what it is that you need to do. So, anyone else want to share? Ooh, Mama Francis just hopped on. Hey, Mama Francis. I know she probably can chime in on this question. Um, the question where that I asked is what tends to take priority over your health the most often? What do you find yourself
Oh,
giving the most time to?
over health. Um, ugh,
No, in general, what do you find yourself like
in general,
in general giving your most of your time to?
I guess. Um,
Is it like family responsibilities, stress, trying to figure out time management, anything like
yeah,
that?
I guess. Yeah, I think time, the business of taking care of home and my little dog. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, I can
that's like
understand
a
that.
kid.
Oh yeah,
So
they're
yeah,
very
and
needy.
sometimes yeah, home upkeep, trying to keep things going, and even though nobody's in it but me and the dog, I still uh, you know. I do what everybody else. I mess up and I have to clean up. Right?
Yeah.
But I try to make, health a priority. I guess but sometimes, get in the way, other things get in the way.
Yeah. I can understand that. Um, I saw Crystal, you unmuted yourself. Did you want to share?
Yeah, I think mostly like the hustle and bustle of, the children, their needs, their wants, like school projects, school things, making sure they have everything for their extracurricular activities, stuff like that gets in the way before the ground running with getting the children up, getting them ready for school, this and that, making sure they eat, making sure they have everything they need and stuff like that, dropping them
Mm-hmm.
all to school, and then finally, after I do all of that, I eat breakfast, and then I'm going right into a client and a client and another client. So
Mm-hmm.
it just feels like it hits the ground running, and
Mm-hmm.
you know I got to get up to make sure to go to school,
Yeah.
but should I, can I have that same mindset? Is like I know I got to get up to go work out before I
Yeah.
get them up for school.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if you don't get them up to go to school, then guess what? Somebody's gonna be knocking on your door. But if you don't work out, yeah, you know, who are you going to, hold accountable for that part?
Mm-hmm.
So that becomes like what I need to do and what I want to do, or vice versa.
Or what you feel like is the least important. Because from what I'm hearing is that it sounds like your kids are important, but you don't feel like you're important because nobody's going to come get on your case about not working out, but they'll get on your case if you don't take your kids to school. And that's the mindset that we're trying to shift, is that you are important. You do matter.
Mhm.
Your health
Mhm.
matters. Your results matter. Your life matters. Taking
Yeah.
time for you. Your mental health matters.
Mhm.
So if you only spend your days, because I say this often, when we're no longer here, life is still going to go on in the way that it would have even if you were still here. So you want to take that into consideration with how you take care of yourself. Because
Mhm.
if you're not here to take care of the people that you desire to take care of, what good is it, right?
Yeah.
What good are you doing yourself if your mom needs you and you're no longer here? If your kids need here and you're no longer here? If your job looks forward to having you and you're not there to do the job anymore, especially if you're one of their high performing employees and you're not there to do it. Yes, the job is still going to go on, but it's not going to have you there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's talk about what's really going on. Burnout isn't just about being tired, it's physical exhaustion, mental fatigue, emotional depletion, and it builds slowly over time. You things, it may start small and then you pack on something else small and something else small, and after a while all of those small things compacted together become this big issue, right? And you may notice that you feel constantly drained, that you lack motivation, that you stop prioritizing yourself, and you feel overwhelmed or irritable. And then eventually your health habits disappear. Does that sound familiar? And it's not because you don't care, it's because you have nothing left to give, because you've exhausted everything within you to make sure this other person or these other little people got what they needed. And have y'all ever heard the saying that you can't pour from an empty cup? You have to keep in mind that your cup needs to be full in order to give to someone else. If you're giving from depletion, what do you have left for yourself? If your cup is dry, it doesn't even have a drop of water in it, what you gonna pour into the next glass? And what you gonna give to yourself? Because let's be real, the glass is what you need for yourself. This first glass is what I need for me. And if I'm continuing to pour from a glass that's not even sustained with energy that I need for myself, and I'm giving that away to everybody else, there is not going to be anything left. Right? So many caregivers operate from beliefs like everyone else comes first. I don't have time for myself. I'll focus on me later. Does that sound familiar? But here's the shift. Here's the mindset shift that we need. Taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's necessary. Right? When you are rested, fueled, strong, and mentally clear, you show up better for everyone else that you desire to help. But when you are tired, frustrated, hungry, you can't show up properly. You might be irritable, you might be snappy, you might be short with people, right? So let's redefine what healthy actually looks like. So this is where we need to continue to shift our mindset. Healthy does not have to mean 90-minute workouts, eating perfectly all the time, or having a flawless routine. And it doesn't mean that you have to ignore the people that need you, right? You can still be there for them. But if you have someone like Miss Susan is caring for her mom, if you have a schedule and you look at the breaks and things in your schedule where you can make sure you have that time for yourself and actually take them, that's where it's going to benefit. When it comes to people that work, I've heard so many people that say, oh, I'm going to work myself through my break. I'm not going to take a break. I'm going to go ahead and just work. That's not smart, because they give you a break for a reason. They don't give you a break to work through the break. You're not lazy because you do take your breaks. It doesn't make you that much more of a hard worker because you work through your breaks. You're doing yourself a disservice when you don't take time to take the breaks that are allotted to you. It's not like you're taking time away from when you're supposed to be working. No, you have scheduled breaks. Take them. What I used to do is on my 15-minute breaks, I would eat, because I don't eat like a whole lot. It doesn't take much for me to just eat something and get back to work. And then on my 30-minute breaks, I would eat something light and go for a walk. And that gave me a chance to clear my head, to decompress from the day, from whatever tasks that I have, and then come back refreshed. But if I'm working through my breaks, you're going to be super exhausted when you get home from work. So think about when you apply that to being a caregiver or a mom, right? If all you do is give and give and give, and you never take time or breaks for yourself, eventually it's going to play out in your behavior. I was a single mom for a very long time. I just got married 4 years ago. Okay? My oldest son is 21. He will be 22 in July. So that lets you know how long I was a single mom. He's not about to be 3 or 4. He's about to be 22. So I understand the struggle of being a single mom and trying to balance your life, but I am a queen of schedules. And anytime I could find a way to fit myself into the schedule, I did. And I didn't care who tried to make me feel bad about it, because it's not selfish to do for yourself. And I'm also a firm believer that this temple that God blessed us with is a gift. And it's temporary, and we should cherish it as though it did not have to be given to us. So if we're not resting, if we're not eating, and our world feels super spiral that we can't function properly, are we really treating the temple like the gift that can be taken away? You have to think about that. So some examples of healthy can be things like a 20-minute walk, drinking water, hitting your protein goals, going to bed earlier, and just taking 5 minutes to breathe. Go in the corner and do some deep breathing. Get a journal and write in it. Express yourself in your journal, be authentic, and talk about what it is that you're feeling and see ways that you can pinpoint how you can do better. And I know a lot of times that's hard for us to do for ourselves, and it's easier to have someone else do it. But if you really think about it, would you want someone treating you the way you treat yourself? If your answer is no to that question, you gotta do better. If you would not want someone else treating you the way you treat yourself, or neglecting you the way you neglect yourself, then you must make some positive change. For those parents out there, if the way you treated yourself, you treated your kids that way, how do you think they would feel? If you treated your kids the way you treat yourself, if you treat your parent that you're a caregiver of the way you treat yourself, how do you think that will work out? If you went to work and gave them the energy that you give yourself, do you think you'll still have a job? It's a lot to think about, right? So small actions still count. And for many of you, small, consistent actions are what will actually work. It doesn't have to be this ginormous step that you take. Even if you get off this call and say, okay, I'm going to go sit in the corner or sit in the bathroom and do a few breathing exercises, you did something different. If it's not something that you normally would do. If you say, I'm going to pause, I'm going to go eat, set alarms. I have been coaching for several years. I've been full-time in my own business for 7, but I started coaching in 2013, right? Coaching part-time. And I still set alarms, so I make sure that I eat. Because, as you know, being an entrepreneur is very demanding. It's a lot of work. If I didn't take time aside to eat, to go for walks, to decompress, do you think I would be able to do what I do? And how can I tell y'all to do it if I'm not doing it myself? Right? So instead of asking, how do I do everything perfectly? How many perfect people in this world are there? None. There's only one person that I know that was perfect, and we just celebrated his resurrection on Sunday. Just one. One! Out of the millions of people, the billions, the trillions of people who have walked the face of this earth, only one. And it was for a purpose. So if only one person was perfect, why is it that we as human beings feel like that everything we do needs to be perfect? It does not need to be perfect. As long as there is intent and consistency behind that intention, and that intention moves you forward towards whatever your goal is, that is what matters most. That is what is going to get you where you need to be. So instead of asking yourself, how do I do everything perfectly? Ask yourself, what is the minimum I can do to still move forward? What is the minimum I can do and still move forward? Like I said, same things as before. 10 to 20 minutes of movement. Even if it's stretching. Even if you sit in a chair and you bend over for like 30 seconds and stretch. You're doing something. Being mindful of the foods that you put into your body. Taking the time to eat. Do you know that food is energy? Calories is equivalent to energy. How are you going to have energy with no food? How are you going to function properly? How is your brain going to think clear enough to get through your work meetings, to finish that deadline that your boss gave you, if you don't feed yourself? That should be the number one priority. I tell you one thing, I ate on all my breaks. And I didn't care who had something to say about it. Because I'm going to eat. And if you got a problem with it, you can take it up with whoever is bothering you, because it's not me. I always made sure, and I don't travel anywhere without snacks. Because you never know, you might end up in a situation where there's no food. And you might not want to spend money on food. But if you have something with you, even if it's a protein shake that you can just drink really quickly, or a handful of almonds, not the whole can, don't do it, right? Have yourself something to eat. Have yourself some water. If I say this on every call, if you don't have one of these, you are wrong. If you don't have one of these, you are wrong. And yes, I have two. One is the one I take with me, and one is where I keep home. I always have water everywhere I go. Even if I'm going to a restaurant, I have water. Because when I get back in the car and I'm thirsty, I want water. You shouldn't be carrying plastic bottles of water around in your car. First of all, it's not healthy to be drinking bottled water after it's been sitting in the car when it's hot. And then with this, you can refill it. If I go to the airport and they make me pour out the contents, they can't take my cup from me. And I can get through the thing and go refill it back up and have my water. So you should always take care of yourself in that way. Drink water consistently. So if this is resonating with you, type 1 in the chat for me. I love it, I love it, I love it. All right, perfect. I love that. So now we're going to do a group reflection exercise. So what I want you guys to do is take a moment and ask yourself, where am I currently neglecting my own needs? This is self-reflection. You don't have to say it out loud. Where am I currently neglecting my own needs? And then, after you discover that answer, then ask yourself, what is one small way that I can support myself this week? And then when you're done, I want you to answer this question in the chat, or you can verbalize it if you want to. After you make your discovery, what is one way I can take care of myself this week is blank. And if you feel comfortable, you can share. Do 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 Ooh, I love it. All right, so Crystal says walking outside or on the treadmill is one way to take care of herself. Drinking protein shakes and meals like recommended. I love that. Anybody else?
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, so one way I can take care of myself is meditating every morning, getting back to that so I can have a clear mind before I start my day.
I love it. I love it. That is a great way to start your day. Anyone else want to share? All right. Well, now that you've all shared, and I appreciate you for sharing, let's bring this back to your bigger journey. So your success is not about doing everything. Remember, I said there is no perfect person in this world right now. Only one was here, and he's been here a long time ago. One. So your success is not about doing everything, and it's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about doing what matters most and being consistent with that thing that matters most, right? And the foundation to all of this, as far as your health is concerned, is to make sure that you're tracking your food, being mindful of what you eat, focusing on hitting protein. There should be some form of protein in every meal. It doesn't even have to be meat. It can be cottage cheese. It could be Greek yogurt. It could be a protein shake. It can also be fish, chicken, turkey, all the things. But you need to have some source of protein in every meal. That is the foundation of your body. Make sure you're drinking your water. My recommendation is always half your body weight, but never exceeding 1 gallon. So if you weigh 130 pounds, then you're going to drink half of that in ounces. per day. Move your body daily, whether it's walking, stretching, whatever it is that makes you active. Resistance train at least 3 times a week, even if it's just a resistance band doing this. That's going to help you. And sleep. When you prioritize your sleep, everything else will fall into place. Sleep is just as important as the work that you put in every single day. If you're not resting, you're going to feel it. Your body is going to let you know. Your eyes going to start twitching. You're going to feel drained all the time. You're not going to be able to function properly. Your brain is going to be cloudy and foggy. All of those things happen when you're not rested. Your body is going to ache. So you should be aiming for 7 to 9 hours of restful sleep. And if you have trouble sleeping, there are people you can talk to help with that. But sleep is very important. One thing I always recommend is magnesium. Magnesium is a great thing that you can take naturally. And there are different types of magnesium, so I'm going to tell you which one to get. It's magnesium glycinate. So they have magnesium glycinate, they have magnesium threonate, which is also good paired with glycinate, and then they have magnesium with the C. That one is like a laxative. If you take it, it can make you, like, if you feel like you're constipated, that's a good thing to take. But they have different ones, so just make sure if you're taking magnesium for sleep that it's a glycinate. And make sure that you adjust your expectations, not your effort. Remember, it's all about consistency. Some weeks will be high capacity. You'll be full of energy. You'll be good to go. Some weeks may be structured. Some weeks may be productive. Some weeks you might not have as much energy, and they might be busy, messy, or unpredictable. And you just have to roll with what you have. Life is gonna life. It's lifing for a lot of people right now. There are so many things happening in this world that are not necessarily positive. And people are dealing with that, along with whatever they have going on in their personal lives. So that's a lot to balance. And it's not a time for you to say, let me push harder. It's like, no, let me deal with what I have going on, and let me be intentional about the movements I make to better me today. Take it day by day. Try not to think too far ahead, because that's when things can get stressful. But if you take it day by day, moment by moment, and address things as they come to you, then you'll be better off. Both ways are part of the process, whether it's easy, simple, structured, and busy and messy. They both are part of the process. That's why it's called a journey. So your job is to adapt, not to quit. Think about when we were kids and we were learning how to ride a bicycle. First, we started on a tricycle with 3 wheels. Then our parents got rid of one of the wheels and was like, let's see how you do with 2 wheels. And we're like, oh my gosh, I can't balance myself. And when you fell off the bike, did you stay down or did you get back up and try again? Even if you cry because you got a boo-boo on your leg, you still got up and tried it again. That's how life is. Ebbs and flows, ups and downs. So life is not meant to be perfect. That makes sense, everybody? So here's my favorite part of this session, is where we open up. I would love to know, and this I'm going to ask for everyone's participation, I would love to know what resonated with you most today during our talk about caregivers and making sure you still put yourself first. I'm going to start calling people on the screen. I see Crystal first. Go ahead, Crystal.
So most of it's because, as a caregiver, somebody has to depend on you. And for you to be able to assist them to the best of your ability, you have to be well. And you being well is taking care of yourself. But the first thing, like when you're a giver, right, like most of us are giving tells us to put ourselves on the side to give to others. But when we do that, we don't pour into ourselves, like you said, the empty cup. But when we give to ourselves, we are better suited to give to others.
I
It's not
agree.
like our last of giving. It's our best of giving because we already gave what we needed to give to ourselves. Feeding into our spirit, our well being first. And then you all as well on giving everything else to someone else because you already got the portion you needed.
I love that. Oh, that made me feel like I did good. Thank you for sharing.
No problem.
The next person I have is Isaiah. What resonated with you most today?
Well, I was trying so hard to get on my phone and it kept rerouting me back to my email, so I came late. But
It's okay.
but what resonated most with me was taking the time to reset because you need to make sure that uh you are in the right headspace mentally, especially after caring for so many people, because you tend to neglect yourself and put yourself on the back burner whenever you're taking care of somebody else because you want to make sure that they're good. But if you take the time to reset and take a step back to get yourself right, you'll be better suited to help them in the future.
I love that. Ooh, come on now. Come on now. All right, next up I have Miss Danique. Did I say your name right, by the way? Okay.
Yep, you said it right.
Yay. Okay.
The part that resonated with me is the preparation. When you mentioned just planning for the day and planning meals. The saying that came to mind is when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So just that resonated with me as well as using the breaks that are allotted to you, your allotted breaks, and you don't get a cookie for working through it. So just take the breaks given to you, drink your water, do what you need to do within that time, and then get back to the king's work or whatever work you're doing.
I love it. Ooh, come on now. Yay. All right, last but not least, Miss Susan. Is it Susan or Suzanne? I want to make sure I'm saying it right. Susan? Okay. Oh, hold on to me. I'm a lip reader, so I know I know what you said. Did it give you the unmuting? But
Yeah.
okay, there you go.
This the well, you know what's going on with me from our group, but the sleeping and the eating. But my biggest, what I frown on, or I don't know if I'm saying it right, but trying to get help from my family. It's
Mm.
like they they my brother says you chose to do this,
Mm.
but why would you say that if you're not going to help? So about 3 weeks ago, I got sick and I wound up at the hospital at the VA. And then all of a sudden, he was like, "Oh, let me go help you," because this is the first thing he said to me. He says, "If you can't take care of mom, she's going into a nursing home."
That's horrible.
So
That is horrible.
he gave me the pamphlet, which I told him to take the pamphlet and do something else with it because I wasn't going to allow that to happen. But that's their mentality. So you're saying eat, sleep. It's kind of hard because mom's going through sundown syndrome. So she's awake. It's like I try to sleep when she sleeps. I
Mm-hmm.
try to eat when she eats, but planning ahead, it's a day by day thing. I can't do that
Absolutely.
because of her condition.
And
But
that's why I also said to, when things happen, sometimes you have to adjust.
hmm
And if you have to sleep a different schedule than your mom because she's dealing with the, what did you call it? The sundown syndrome. If she's dealing with that, then when you pay attention to how that day is going, and then you can, whenever you do get a break, then you can say, okay, this is my time. But I understand your situation. Days are not going to be the same, and that's why I made sure to explain how some days are going to be good, organized, whatever. Other days may be chaotic. Sometimes you might have more of the two. You might have more chaotic days than simple days. And that's when you just take it and you say, okay, this is what is served to me today, and this is how I'm going to manage it. But it's not about being perfect. It's just about being intentional about what can I do? What's the minimum thing I can do today to pour into me? What is the minimum? Even if it's just drinking water today, if that's the only thing you're able to do for that day to pour into yourself, you did something. You don't have to do everything. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to do water, go walk, meditate all in one day, because then you're going to overwhelm yourself. So you choose one thing that you're going to do, which takes us to our homework assignment, because I always give homework assignment on these. And I'll post this also in the group chat so that whoever couldn't make it, they'll have it as well. But this week is going to be your self-support reset challenge. So what you're going to do is pick one thing that you do daily, no matter what it is. And some examples can be drinking your water, focusing on hitting your protein, doing 10 to 20 minutes of movement, even if it's just stretching, or tracking your food, being mindful of what you eat. But just one. And the reason I say one is because I don't want you to overwhelm yourself trying to do too many things. So you're going to pick one thing, and then you're going to build your busy day plan. And how you're going to do that is you're going to finish this sentence. On my busiest days, I will at minimum do this. Remember, I just said on your crazy day, even if you just drink water, you did something. So you'll say, on my busiest day, I will at minimum do this, and commit to doing that one thing on your crazy busy days. And this will prevent you from falling completely off track and putting yourself completely on the back burner. And then the final thing that you're going to answer is one way I supported myself this week. So this part you'll probably answer later, and if you're a journaler, write it in your journal. One way I supported myself this week was by doing this. And that's all you have to do. And that's one. And then if you want to write it in a journal or something and revisit and say, okay, I want to do this again next week. And just keep doing it until it becomes a habit. One thing that you're going to do on your crazy busy day. One. That's all I ask. One. Because we're not trying to make this difficult. We're not trying to make this stressful. We're trying to make this doable and something that you can do consistently. If you pack on too much at one time, you cannot be consistent. And then that all or nothing mindset falls into play. Make sense? So I'm going to post this in the group chats that we have. And that's it for today's session. But I do want you guys to remember, you deserve care too. Taking care of yourself is not selfish, it's essential. Small actions still create progress, and consistency does not require perfection, just commitment. You're doing a lot already, and the goal is not to add more pressure to yourself, it's to support yourself within your reality. So before we close, I would love it if each of you could drop one word in the chat that describes how you want to feel when you take care of yourself consistently. Just one word. I love that. Isaiah said free. Crystal said refreshed.
Can you restate the question?
Absolutely. The question was put one word in the chat that describes how you want to feel when you take care of yourself consistently. Happy. I love it. Happy is good. Because I'm happy. I'll turn anything into a song. So, um, I do appreciate once again you all being here. Thank you for showing up even when it's hard. And thank you for trusting the process. We do have these calls every Tuesday at 2 p.m. If you are interested in joining the calls, next week we're going to be talking about overcoming the all or nothing trap. That is a horrible trap to be in. It's like if I don't do it all, I messed up and I give up. We're going to overcome that next week. So let's continue to move forward and continue to take care of you as well. All right? Y'all have the most amazing day, and we'll chat soon. And if you're on this call and you're not in our, and you're not a client and you're not in our fit community, I will drop the link inside the WhatsApp channel and you can join that fit community, and that way you'll have access to watch this video back. For those who are clients, I'll be posting the replay in that app as well, so you can watch it back to refer back to what we talked about. Sounds good? All right, you guys are free to go, and we'll chat soon. Bye.
Bye.